145-pound bout. I mentioned earlier on that Pennsylvania wrestlers with a couple of guys down in weight class or at different weight classes. Matt Dragon of Lake Lehman, one of those. The state AA champion at 152, and quickly in on the legs against Brent Metcalf of Davison, Michigan. Davison gets back to his feet. Dragon with a leg lace trying to take Metcalf back into the mat to establish the control. They roll, and now Dragon gets the takedown.
Nice work by Dragon.
Brent Metcalf, 228-0. In his high school career, a four-time Michigan state champion. Dragon 166-11. And I mentioned the AA champion at 152 pounds. Metcalf stands, Dragon to the tilt. Back count going on. Two near falls for Matt Dragon.
And this obvious pro-Pennsylvania crowd is living large right at the minute.
Tell you what, we get a chance here when some of that flurry happens. Get Tom looking over in the Pennsylvania corner. There's guys from the WPIL team whooping it up and having a great time. Every time Dragon has done something, when he got in on the shot, when he got the takedown, when he got the near falls, A.J. Graves in particular, the WPIL's outstanding wrestler, came to his feet and was trying to encourage his Pennsylvania wrestling mate. An escape for Metcalf. Now Metcalf in on Dragon on the low single. Dragon trying to get Metcalf to the boundary and get his foot back out from underneath the body. Metcalf trying to shove the legs and turn inside. Dragon trying to hang on, but he cannot. Gives up the takedown. Good work by Metcalf to keep Dragon in bounds in a place where it looked like Dragon was going to be able to get outside and use the boundary to avoid being taken down. So what was 4-0 has battled back to 4-3. My guess is not the first time that Brent Metcalf been in a little sticky situation. Tight waist and a half Nelson by Metcalf. He'll ride through the end of the first. 4-3 lead for Dragon of Lake Lehman. Dragon will begin the second period riding. Pennsylvania and the United States teams tied at 3 here in the Classic 31. And now this match tied at 4 as Metcalf gets an early second period escape. Great work there in the first period by Matt Dragon of Pennsylvania's Lake Lehman. All laid to waste now. Trying to get to the legs and almost got there and then almost got taken down. And the work here.
BMX bikes. At one point he was ranked 3rd in the nation. Started wrestling at age 8. Now he's also a football tailback.
Front tie-up worked by Metcalf. And a slide to his right and works that for a takedown. And now gives Dragon an escape. And now Metcalf bringing the action.
Now Dragon appears to be taking injury time.
From Davison. Dragon with an injury.
Just under a minute to go in this second period. And a 6-5 lead for Brent Metcalf out of Davison, Michigan. Metcalf with a takedown. After the blood timeout, optional start by Metcalf, escape to Dragon. Metcalf leads 8-6. That last takedown from Metcalf. Just spectacular after it looked like Dragon was going to get it.
Well, the key there, Metcalf carried the action. Dragon carried the action early, just like he did there. Hit the duck, but Metcalf is willing to do that forward roll, which we saw a guy named Kerry Colat do sometime in the past, and he went on and did pretty well for himself.
Interesting you would mention Colat, because Kerry Colat came into the Classic after his career undefeated and was not able to win. Didn't lose, but didn't win. I mentioned Colat's situation because Metcalf is in the identical situation, undefeated coming into the Classic in his high school career, 228-0. Caution there for a false start. And now an escape basically given to Dragon. Once he got to his feet, Metcalf let him go. Dragon in on the leg, Metcalf with a whizzer. Now let's see what happens here. Dragon nearly tripped the other leg out, but now just folds Metcalf to his hips. Metcalf strong up around chest and shoulders, and blood time for Dragon again. (8-7) with a minute and a half to go, third period, 145-pound bout. Pennsylvania and U.S. tied up at 3 heading into this match. Matt Dragon of Lake Lehman, 152-pound double-A champion, gets behind the 4-time Michigan champion. The two hop out of bounds, no takedown. Good work by Metcalf at the boundary. Knew he was going to the mat and just flipped his hips up into the air, and he drove Dragon outside the line. No control, established inbounds.
Dragon, though, has a real nice high crotch duck under combination that he works in. Metcalf doesn't have a good answer for that, except for the fact that he has a great counter afterwards.
Our thanks to
A minute 5 to go in the third period. 8-7 lead for Brent Metcalf for Team USA. And he is trying to tie up Matt Dragon here. Dragon doesn't want to work there. Looks like Metcalf got a finger to the eye. Stalling call against Metcalf.
30 seconds.
Metcalf with a 1-point lead. Inside trip attempt by Dragon. Couldn't finish it. 25 seconds remaining, and now Metcalf just driving into Dragon.
15.
Dragon trying to double up. Crowd wanting a stalling call. It would tie the match. Dragon gets on top of Metcalf. Trying to sit up. 2 seconds to go. 1 second. No takedown. Brent Metcalf wins it for Team USA by an 8-7 final score. The United States 6, Pennsylvania 3.